Yeah, first of all, I have a really good football team. You know, we were third in the country last year, fourth in the country year before that, and this team is better in every phase this year. So this is not a team that was overrated or anything like this. It's a really good football team, and we got beat by a really good football team that I thought played at a very high level. Um, we feed off our offense, and obviously our point production has been kind of off the charts, and Jeremiah really struggled. He did not take a single snap the entire week of practice. And we didn't know if he was going to play until literally game time. At game time, we found out he could play. His elbow, he got injured during the last week's game. And, I just the timing and everything. I actually thought he was throwing the ball okay, but the timing and everything was really sort of off. So just a shame. But, we got beaten all three phases. So obviously him playing better would have been a big factor, but at the same time, it was a good football team we lost to. We had a real physical game the week before. I think we had some of that. You could see we were a little banged up and we weren't playing maybe, but I think a lot of times when you don't play well, it's because of the people you're playing. And I think they played really well today. And all the praise and all the credit to James Madison. Like I said, I told those guys on the field, they should go win a national championship. They have the ability to beat anyone in the country. They're a very good football team, and love their quarterback play and great running back, and then offensive line's physical, and those wide receivers, and then thought they played really well on defense. So again, that's a really good football team. So no excuses from our part. They beat us today in all three phases.
Coach, you guys have prided yourselves on your special teams play all season,
Yep.
and they had a couple plays there that kind of seemed to really demoralize you guys and take you out of the game.
Yeah. I mean, I think starting off, we get the turnover, and we're going to go get the first seven, and you always can feed off those things, and then we fumble going in. And then, some special teams plays really made a big factor early on, and we've played phenomenal special teams. We've some of the best special teams in the country. And, to get beat on special teams like that was really sort of surprising. But like I said, they beat us in all three phases, there's no question. And that was part of it was, some of those big special teams plays.
What did their defense do?
Well, it got really physical outside with the receivers, and I was complaining a lot to the officials. And however they call it's how they're going to call it. I mean, I'm not here to make any excuses. But it was a concern that on film you could see they were very grabby and very physical, and that's one of my concerns going into the game. I said, listen, you can't let them grab us all day like that. I mean, that's not how the game should be played. And they let them get physical with us. And then when that happens, you just have to make adjustments, and then it's your responsibility to figure out how you're going to. I think more than anything that it was Jeremiah not really, throwing the ball very well. I mean, again, probably a lot of our timing was out. A lot of our timing was off. We didn't think he had a chance to play early in the week. Our medical staff did a phenomenal job. And then, game day, he came out and he said, hey, I can do this. I can throw. And we didn't know if he was going to have the velocity of the ball. But I just think his timing was off. Or we just wasn't very good continuity. Caleb took almost all the reps all week long. And, obviously Jeremiah's best player in the country. And, we kind of rely on him pretty heavily. So we wanted to give him the shot to go out there and play.
Coach, how big of a factor was the weather in this game?
It was a beautiful night. I mean, they joke about us, our Texas boys, and we beat Villanova in a lot worse weather than this. It was it was a windy, nasty day, so I don't think that was a factor whatsoever. I mean, a great crowd. James Madison does such a phenomenal job hosting an event. I know these guys for a long time. I think they're one of the best athletic directors in the country, and they just do such a classy job, and our kids were just thrilled to be here to play in a great environment. Crowd was awesome, band was awesome, the whole thing was awesome. I mean, but obviously we were disappointed that we didn't play our best football game.
Coach, I believe it was back-to-back possessions. You put the big punt return for a touchdown. The next punt is blocked. There was that for a touchdown. What toll does it take on you guys to make play more?
Yeah, I mean, the game's such a momentum shift, and we saw it last week. We got up 21-0 early versus Chattanooga, and we had a special teams mistake, and all of a sudden 21-7. And, that kind of stuff, just it kind of snowballs on you a little bit, especially on special teams, because we've been so good all year long, And then for us to get beat on special teams the way we did was kind of surprising. We haven't had a punt blocked or even close to being blocked all year long. So you have to give them a lot of credit. They did a great job coaching against us. I do think, one of the small factors was it being a real physical game last week, us having a short week to travel east. We obviously didn't play our best football, and we were really conscious of that. We took time off practice. We were really trying to, kind of get them as fresh as we could. But, Chattanooga really took a toll on us. That was a really physical game, and these guys are really physical too. So back-to-back physical games like that, we just didn't hold up very well.
Darian, you knew that they had a high-powered offense. Any surprises that you saw out of the quarterback, and what were some of the things that seemed to work for them, especially early on?
Really no surprises. I mean, they just came out and they were the football team that we seen on film. I mean, they made plays from the beginning of the time that they got the ball till the game was over. And I mean, they just managed to do the same things that they've been doing all year, and it worked for them.
We felt it was important for us to try stopping the run. And we just didn't do a good job stopping the run. I thought they did a great job of putting their foot in the ground and kind of cutting some things back, and we were kind of over pursuing a little bit. I think the running backs, they have more than one. They have, a couple of running backs that are really good. And then, didn't anticipate the quarterback was going to pull the ball as often as he did, and he did make a couple big plays out there. So, they do a good job. Very efficient offensively, maybe as efficient an offense you'll see anywhere in the country. They're just very well coached and very methodical, and they do a great job with it.
Coach, do you think this is more of a situation where you guys just didn't match up well against JMU?
Oh, not at all. No, I mean, I think they're a terrific football team. And if you look at what we did the last 2 years, we know how good we can be in the country. And this is the best team I had since I've been at Sam Houston. So we just got beat. They outplayed us. There's no question they outplayed us. Having the best player in the country not practice all week, that does hurt you. But more than anything else, I think they just outplayed us, in all phases. Great home environment, great home field advantage. Boy, they make a play. Man, Justin Riscotti has become a friend of mine, and he and I were texting before the game, and I told him, I said, I could remember a cross-country route that he threw a big touchdown, and I just heard that band playing. And it was almost like I had, like flashbacks of back in whatever it was, 2004 or whatever it was. And I mean, it's such a great environment, and the fans got going. And once you guys make a couple plays, you just kind of keep on feeding off it. And it's obvious they kept on feeding off it. It was pretty impressive.
Coach, sticking with that flashback theme, if I'm not mistaken, in 2001, you're involved in a pretty controversial finish over Bridgewater.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
With the stop clock game. I mean, for you to come back to Rockingham County and get beaten by this kind of admitted better team than personal, is that more refreshing for you?
Well, it's kind of funny because if it would have been a Saturday game, we were actually going to practice at Bridgewater. So, it is what it is. Those things happen. But like I said, it was a really impressive team. When you look at them on film, they're really good. And then, they got some momentum on us, and we just really couldn't shake it. And I told our team, I said, we had a historic year. I mean, the way we played, how dominant we played. And again, it's not like this is the first time we've been here. We've been in the Final Four the last 2 years, and so I know how good this team is. And to get beat like we did today, that was pretty impressive.
That said, you've seen other teams that won national championships, you played against them. If this JMU team, does this JMU team stack up?
Oh, absolutely.
Can they do that?
Oh, absolutely. They're every bit as good as the Jacksonville State team that we lost to last year, and the North Dakota State team we lost to the year before. I mean, there's no question. They play like they played today. They're going to be pretty tough to beat. No matter if it's a neutral site or if it's right here. So, yeah, very impressed.
This is a defense that's been stout against the run all year. What did they do to limit you guys in the backfield so much?
They had a great game plan. They gave us a $6, and they was relying on the one-on-one, 5 against 5, and then one-on-one, and guys, safety coming down, folding in, making great plays. So it was just a great game plan on those guys.
And no one's been able to do that to us all year long. I mean, we kind of laugh when people try to play us man-to-man. It's like, okay, here we go. And, we dropped the number of balls. That didn't help us. And obviously Jeremiah was not, on the money. That didn't help us. But more than anything, I thought they did a great job covering. I thought they did a great job kind of, route reading us. They jumped some things. I mean, it was a pretty impressive performance by their defense.
Coach, in your 3 playoff losses here, you guys
Well, I think, the season and the playoffs take a toll on you. And a lot of time it's like, what transpired prior to. And again, the game that we had to play against Chattanooga, that was a really tough physical game. And then playing on the short week, that doesn't help you. And then you're going east and you're losing time. All those things, we're scrambling, trying to, find ways to catch up time-wise because, we know we have to come and play here on a Friday night. But, sometimes you play a really good football team and they're playing their best and you're not playing your best. And again, when you take the best player in the country, you don't play him one single snap all during the week of practice, it is going to affect you. And it affected our timing, it affected a lot of things. And that's not an excuse, it's just a reality of the fact that, he got hit pretty bad there at the end of that game. As tough a player as ever been around, I was amazed that he came back and, played today. And it wasn't the velocity in his throws. I thought his velocity was fine. Ball was going down a little bit, and I thought it was more just that our timing was really off because he didn't practice all week.
Any more questions?
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.